So today's video is going to be straightforward. We're going to work on this stud-gen Camaro with the era swap that we've been painting on the channel. If you're new, get subscribed because you don't want to miss this. I got a full playlist too, so everyone's been on to me to make longer videos, and I guess they enjoy watching what I do. You guys do, hopefully, or you just like my voice. But let's just jump into the video. I'm going to take you through what I did to this car. We're going to buff these fenders, see how they turn out, and you know, just make some more progress on this project. So already wet sanded and got these ready to buff. These are the fenders. We done buffed some on the front bumper. I done buffed the quarters. Yes, you do see a little bit of if you look in the sun, you can see that is what we call foil marks. But these, don't let it fool you. This ain't really foil marks. You can actually wipe them off. That's residue left over, but you know, you can see mostly from the buffer. But this is not the final polish. This is finish cut with a wool pad, which is made by Wizards. When the car is fully assembled, we go over it with a good flow polish. Make sure definitely ain't gonna be no foils in it. You can see all those is wipes right out. But yeah, we want it as smooth as we can get it, and she's pretty smooth. And this was painted outside. If you've not seen the video, I'll link it in the description below. But I actually removed bugs and everything out of this quarter panel. So back to what I did. So I went ahead, and you can buy this with an interface pad, but High-Tech makes a good trim, does too. 1000 grit. It goes on a 6-inch DA, 7-inch DA. 6-inch is what I'm using, and you can DA us down with 1000 grit. What I like to do is cut it down first by hand with a grate, you know, just a straight block with like 1500 to get it nice and level. Then I go back over it with the DA pad with 1000 usually. Then I step it up to 2000. Which on a DA with the interface pad is not really cut, it's actually lighter than that. And then I will go to a 3000, and that's what this is finished in, is 3000. You can see the marks right here, because they are kind of a low spot right here in this fender. I will be using a wool pad for my first step, and I do keep my wool pads labeled. It says cut in there. This is from a cutting compound, and this is what I'm using. Mystic Cut. It smells great and it works great, and it's by Wizards, so great product. You want to make sure your panel temp is cool to the touch. Mine is, and your panel's pretty well clean, because if there's anything on it, it's going to get dirt on it. This is pretty clean. Only thing on this is leftover compound where I wet sanded a little bit yesterday, and with this cutting compound, it should do just fine. Got my GoPro a little wet. Good thing it's waterproof. So I'm going to take and smear this just like so, and then I'm going to do it in sections, because you don't want to try to buff the whole fender. Just take your time. I am running at around 1600 RPMs, and my pad is a little wet. It will dry out as we use it, because I clean them each time I go to buff. So we're starting to take a shine. You can see right here we got some compound residue here what got dry a little, but that's fine. It'll come out. A couple more sandings with the compound, and you want to take your time, and as your pad fills up with new compound it'll start cutting better, but you want to make sure all these spots you got to work has got compound on it. Now when you're taking your time and doing this, you can turn the RPM up. It's going to cut faster because you put more heat into the panel, but you have more chance of a burn through. I found out with Wizards, if you're not in a hurry, just take your time. It'll shine up like a new shiny penny. So let's just go ahead and smear this all over. Yes, we can. You can tell we have shined this whole area up. It needs about one more pass. I like to get it as shiny as I can in the cutting phase. That way when I go to the polishing phase, it's a lot better. But what I usually do is just smear this on and just take my time. So let's finish this up and then move to the next section. So this is what I'm talking about. We got it pretty well polished to a shine. It won't take much on the final polish. Now I'm going to finish the rest of the fender. Fender looks extremely shiny. It's got some residue still on it, you can see. That's how come it might look a little hazy. That's normal. So let's go ahead and check the other side out. We're going to do it the same way. I want to show you a before. That's this fender. You remember we shaved the antenna hole in a previous video. So I'm going to do the first stage, which is Mystic cut on this fender, and then I'll show you how I do the second one. And tip, when you're buffing, make sure your buffer goes off the edge and try not to go onto the edge, because you go onto the edge, you're gonna more likely burn your paint or just tear your paint. So remember, buff off of the edge. We got the first stage done. I'm going to show you how I do the second stage, what I use, which will be another wool pad, because I like cutting with wool triced. But looking down it, she looks pretty smooth. I think she's going to be a nice car when she gets the doors on her. We done got the hatch. Got a nice new pad. This is not my cutting pad. This is the one I use for close to finishing polishing. And it's wet, because I always clean these before I use them. I'm using Finish Cut by Wizards. As I said, this is my second step. I usually do 3 steps. Once the car is fully assembled, I give it a nice flow polish. I'll do a complete video on the final polish of this car. You know, it's because you might enjoy this and want to know how I done it. But usually with a wool pad, you can use a foam pad, and Finish Cut's all you need. You don't have to do a full final polish. That's, only if you want to. I like to, because it seems to give it a little bit better of a mirror finish. but you can see right now it's pretty shiny. Let's get this finish cut on it, and then you see it's even more shiny. Got my camera out again. I do this section here so you can see what a difference this makes. We're going to take our time as we did before. This is what it's going to look like beforehand. What you want to do is wash all this off before you get to, doing this. And I didn't do that step because I got ahead of myself. You know, mistakes happen. So I'm going to wash this down, clean this pad again, and then we try again. So yeah, I got ahead of myself. It happens. You know, I'm not going to edit it out. And it's good that I did it this way. This way you can learn, and the reason why we want to wash it before we do the second stage and clean this. All this little fine particles here is from the first cutting stage. All that. And when you do this, and you go with your second stage, you try to cut over top of this, it gets in your pad, and it's going to create foil marks, which we don't have any foil marks in this at the moment. Light would tell you for sure, but you know, we caught it in time. But you can see how much of a difference that stage makes compared to this stage. And you see the difference? It's a lot more deeper in this stage than it is on what we did before. So let's go ahead and wash this off, and then we'll do a new take on it. So let's try this again. I re-washed my pad out. Put us some finish cut on this. Work it in slowly. Then we got to dry the pad out. There we go. So it's looking extremely shiny. You can see a big difference. Hey Mom, you can see her in the background. You gonna wave? Wave, okay. So everything, you know, is going good. So I'm gonna just polish this on out and I'll show you the finished product. This is this fender. It turned out pretty good. You can see. Looks pretty good down it too. First you'll be painted outside, and for just a spray and play, this car's gonna look sweet. Check it out. Budget LS swap and do it yourself paint job. You can tell more on this side because it's shadier and there's a lot more light on this side since the trees ain't blocking it. Looks pretty good. This is the taillights too. We actually tinted them. No, I need a good cleaning. Got a little compound on it and some pollen, but what do you think? I think she's going to be good. I think she's going to look good. Going to be a nice cruiser. Drive in, take the car shows. Going to be presentable. Going to be fun with the LS swap. And the reason the belt is off this LS, just in case you was wondering in the video, is it tossed it. And I'm going to have to put it back on it. But yeah, we got to paint the inside of these. Tons of videos to come. So get subscribed if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Longer than usual, you know, video. I go in more detail, maybe teach y'all how to buff, how I buff. You know, there's several different ways you can buff on the doors or something, because we still got to paint the doors. There's a lot more to do on this car. You know, ground effects, we got to install them. But I think she's going to be pretty. The color suits her. That Ford Doc Blue Pearl AB-DX, I think is the paint code. Don't hold me to it. But this is a factory Ford color for the F-150s and the Ford Rangers and stuff. There's a few different variants in it, and what a variance is, before I jump off here, just to explain to you, is like when you go get paint for your car and you're trying to do touch-up, there's a prime, which is the most common, and there's other variances. You know, it can be a ton of different variances for one color. So if you do get paint mixed and you see a color on a car you like this one has the most purple in it. The prime isn't the super purplest one, just so you know. But go somewhere and mix this paint that's got a chip deck and ask how many variances is in that color, and see if they got a chip, you know, deck, you know, where you can see the, like if they 7 variances of a color, take it out in the sun and look at all 7 chips and go with the one you like the most. We're going to clean this off just to try to keep it, you know, clean. Maybe cover it up with some painter's plastic till we get the doors done, just so the pollen don't get on it. That way when I go to the final polish, which, you know, this ain't got no frills in it as I can tell, this would be good as a final polish. I would have used a foam pad if I wasn't going to polish it again, because wool kind of does leave sometimes scratches. Wool is hard to use for a final polish. You can see the foils right here in this one, but if we rub it, the foils go away, because what you're seeing is where my pad was walking and it was getting full and it just left, you know, it looks like foil marks, but it's really just a compound on it that's foiled in place, and where it was that finish cut, you know, it's kind of foil free as long as your pad is clean. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm rambling on. I'll see you next time.